What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Friday, February 8th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, who do we have at the point guard position? I like Chris Dunn from the Chicago Bulls playing the Brooklyn Nets, who have the 11th worst defense overall, and they're about middle of the pack defending opposing point guards. Chris Dunn has scored 41, 21, and 35 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 30.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. Chris Dunn is 6,500 DraftKings salary. He's 600 more on FanDuel, projected at 30.2 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 33 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. That's something he's done in 2 of his last 3 games versus Brooklyn. I like this matchup for Chris Dunn. It's a fast-paced game, so I like Chris Dunn here versus the Brooklyn Nets. So I just wanted to let everybody know we added projected ownership. It first updates mid-afternoon, and then it will be updated throughout the day based on injuries and other information that comes out. So we show the projected ownership right here in the position optimizer, so you can see right next to every player what their projected ownership is for the main DFS slate. So now you can easily see who's going to be chalk, who's going to be low owned. This is one of the most important stats you're going to look at to help build your lineups and pick your players. Okay, who do we have at the shooting guard position? I like D'Angelo Russell from the Brooklyn Nets playing the Chicago Bulls, who have the 9th worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. D'Angelo Russell has scored 54, 29, and 33 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 37.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 30 minutes per game with a 30% usage rate. D'Angelo Russell is 8,200 DraftKings salary. He's 600 more on FanDuel, projected at 36.4 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 40 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. That's something he's done in 3 out of his last 5 games and 4 out of his last 5 versus Chicago. This is a home game, a fast-paced game. I love the matchup here, and I love D'Angelo Russell versus the Chicago Bulls. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Josh Jackson from the Phoenix Suns playing the Golden State Warriors, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. And although they're the 6th best team defending small forwards, Josh Jackson has scored 51, 35, and 39 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 22.4 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 24 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. You can see the minutes per game are way up. He's played over 36 minutes in the last 3 games, usage of 29, 32, and 22%. Josh Jackson is 5,900 DraftKings salary. He's 1,000 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 23.8 fantasy points here tonight. I think he scores at least 30 fantasy points because he's playing heavy minutes. Should be easy 5 times value or more for you on DraftKings. There's an implied total of 229.5 points in this game. That's a big total, lots of points to go around. I love Josh Jackson here versus the Golden State Warriors. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Dario Saric for the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Dario Saric has scored 30, 39, and 12 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 20.8 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 25 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. Dario Saric is $4,400 DraftKings salary. He's $700 less on FanDuel. So that is an amazing FanDuel play. He can be your low score drop, but I don't think he's going to be. He's projected at 21.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value, even more on FanDuel. There's an implied total of 234 points in this game. Dario Saric on FanDuel is probably my favorite play of the slate, so I love Dario Saric here versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Hassan Whiteside from the Miami Heat playing the Sacramento Kings, who have the 7th worst defense overall, and they give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Hassan Whiteside has scored 55, 40, and 37 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 35.6 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 26 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. Hassan Whiteside is $6,800 DraftKings salary. He's $1,200 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 38.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's well over 5 times value. There's an implied total of 218.5 points in this game. I love Hassan Whiteside here versus the Sacramento Kings. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.